think that would be a wonderful purchase if you could get that.
Here you are, ladies. 100% cotton. Made right here in America.
What? Veteran here. Veteran. Are you blind? Here. Give me a couple of boxes here, Fred. I'm running low.
How many times I gotta tell you to keep your hands off my merchandise? Now get.
Is this yours?
Didn't mean to knock it down. Just wanted to see it. I'm sorry. I'm real sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry about. How much for the ball?
5 cents.
Oh, it's yours now.
Thanks, mister.
Gonna be a hot one, huh? Well, my name's Dave. David Stevenson. But my friends call me Steve.
Fred Luff's the name. Oh, if you ain't right about that heat, I can get you something nice and cold with a bite, if you will mind.
Well, I hope you're talking about root beer.
Yeah.
Staunch supporter of the Prohibition. Can't see much use to alcohol except lending woe and wrecking homes.
Right enough, I guess. You're new hereabouts, ain't you?
I'm from down in Indianapolis. I'm in the coal business.
Hey, I'm trying to sell some pencils here, Mr. Fred Luff. You gonna get them, or should I whittle them? You looking at something?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I was just thinking that it's a hell of a thing. A man who wears a silver star and the only job he can get is a job selling pencils. How'd it happen?
Artillery barrage, Argonne.
I was at Belleau Wood. But we never saw it the way you boys did at Argonne.
Belleau Wood.
Yeah. Years and years of war. What we come home to. Immigrants. Well, immigrants crowding us out of our jobs. Overwhelming our schools. And our elected officials. Using public office for private profit.
Maybe your elected officials. Sure as hell ain't mine.
Yeah. What about crime? Gangsters and thugs making a mockery of the law.
Well, that's my point. That's my point exactly. I mean, doesn't it seem to you folks that, I don't know, there's something wrong with America? And the values that we fought and died for are disappearing. Disappearing right before our very eyes. But you know, there is a way to make a difference. There is something for us to do. There is something we can all do to capture the promise of this great land before it's too late.
Have any of you ever met a teacher before? Do any of you know how to read? Raise your hand if you do. Okay. My name is Miss Oberholzer, and I'm a teacher. What's your name? Your first name? Anyone? Yes.
My name's Jessie.
You hush, Jessie. Thank you, Jessie. That's a very pretty name. Does anyone know how to spell their name? Has anyone ever been to a school? Any kind of school?
What school?
Pardon me?
What school?
A school is a place where you learn things. Would you like to learn how to spell your name? You hold that blackboard. Let's see, we'll hold it right here. This is the chalk. Now, what's your name?
Ronnie.
Ronnie, very nice name. We start with an R. O. See that? And here comes an N. That's how you start running.
Ain't gonna do no good. He ain't got time for school. We always moving from town to town for work. They just ain't got time for school.
Be realistic. You want them to read. They don't even know what the alphabet is.
All these kids need is an opportunity. They need instruction and books and materials, and that's where I come in.
Madge, you got a promotion. I'm happy for you. But don't think an office at the Department of Education and a fancy title will change things.
I-O-N. I'm going to cool.
Oh, Ronnie, that's wonderful. Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna miss teaching. But I didn't give it up so I could have a private office. I gave it up so I could make a difference. I mean, things are going to change.
I wish that were true, Madge.
I'll make it true.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Well, here, let me get it for
Oh,
you,
no, no,
please.
no. You were
No,
there
no, no, no.
first,
I got
I'm
plenty of
sure.
work to do. If you need the text, why don't you just use it, and then when you finish, give it back to me.
Are you sure?
Sure, absolutely, of course. I got plenty of work to do.
Oh, well, thanks. Madge Oberholzer.
Clell Henry. Clell's it's a family name.
So's Oberholzer. Thanks again. Clell, are you an attorney?
Am I? Yes, I am. I am. I'm assistant prosecutor for the county.
Oh, good. Have you heard of the Young People's Reading Circle? It's part of the State Department of Education.
Sure. Well, no.
Well, I run it, and I'm trying to develop a program to provide books for itinerant farm children. And I have to be pretty careful to write something that operates within state guidelines. Would you take a look? Please.
Sure, but I practice criminal law, and it's not the same. Are you an attorney?
Oh, no, I'm a teacher. Well, I was.
Well, you've done a fabulous job. This conforms to all the requisite manuals I'm aware of. You might want to present this to the Ways and Means subcommittee instead of going through the finance people. Might help you from getting lost in the shuffle.
Oh, county prosecutor. Oh, I'll remember that. Thanks. The itinerant laborers follow a pattern moving from farm to farm. I propose we locate the textbook distribution points along primary rural routes.
Sounds expensive, Miss Oberholzer.
Sir, if we don't educate these children now, we will end up supporting them later.
If it costs money, no way Mr. Kinley will give her books for niggers.
Remember what he said when I asked for a raise?
Yeah, I said no.
Excuse me. Terrible draft from there. Gentlemen, this program will work. We can give these children a future. We can give these children hope. All we have to do is give them something to read besides the labels on feed sacks.
Would you want to personally oversee this program?
Yes, I would.
Well, it's a rather lofty proposal for a young woman. Yes, well, look at the time. I don't think we've ever heard a better presentation.
Thank you.
Certainly not from a young lady. We've never heard a presentation from a young lady.
This is a nice crowd.
I don't see the membership table. There's no point in spreading the good word if we can't sign up the new converts.
We got it set up at the back of the park. We'll begin just as soon as you start speaking.
I picked up a new shipment of robes. We won't get caught short on the big sizes again.
Good man, Earl. Mark up the extra large another 50 cents.
the other day who left his legs in Argonne. Now he's selling pencils because he can't get a good job. My name is David Stevenson. My friends call me Steve. The war is years over. We're home now. Now should be a healing time for America. A time when Americans band together to help stop the decline of this great nation. But instead, we've got Teapot Dome and Al Capone. We must stop the gangsters, the swindlers, and the robber barons who would steal our rightful inheritance. We must stop the flood of unwashed masses that would dilute that inheritance by sheer numbers. America is a country built upon a faith in God and a belief in country. I obey the law, and I condemn the devil alcohol because it, more than anything else, is destroying the American family.
Son of a gun, look who's here. Hi.
Don't say son of a gun. That's a terrible thing for a young lady to say.
Martha, my father.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet
We had a lunch date, Daddy. I'm sorry.
you. It's all right. Give me a chance to see your new office. There's still time.
I can't. I gave my proposal to Kenley this morning, so I have to be here in case he has any questions.
28 years old and still not married. A girl as pretty as this.
Daddy.
If I was her, I'd never get married. I'd trade in my husband in a second.
Well, can't somebody else take care of the future of Indiana youth for an hour?
I can't. What's going on in the park?
Oh, another one of those political things. Elks and the Masons or something like that, I think. They're handing out flyers.
Oh, seems like somebody's always joining something these days. I'm sorry about lunch, Daddy.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll do it another time. I know your work is important to you.
Daddy.
Really? Keep it up. And I like your new office, Maggie, a lot. I was 15 years on the job before I had an office this nice.
I believe in God. I believe in God, the one true Christian God. I respect womanhood. I believe in the values of chastity, decency, and family. And so do you. A lot of people say the Klan, bigots, and dismiss us as such. It's just not true. I don't care about the color of a man's skin, nor do I care about the nature of his religion. But I do care. I care very deeply if what that man chooses to believe has an impact upon my way of life.
Signature, just sign up. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Here, just make your X there or sign it up. Now you can pick up your robe at the membership table over there. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Like to sign up? All we need is your signature. Help bring America back to Americans.
My signature and 10 of my hard-earned dollars.
Seems a small price to pay to help bring America back to Americans.
Maybe next time. Thanks anyway.
We deserve a better country, gentlemen. Let me give you one of our newspapers. You'll be able to read a little bit more about what we stand for. Membership information's on the back. Help bring America back to America.
The Fiery Cross. Catchy title. Hey, Boyd, listen to this.
Oh, spare me.
What on earth is that?
Something in the park.
My Lord, you think it's the second coming.
Are we going to let the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, and the DuPonts buy for the few what is rightfully owned by the many? It was big business that got us into the war. We need to hear from the common man, the decent American man who sweats for his daily bread. We need to protect our children from the crooks at Tammany Hall and the godless Bolsheviks which are all around us. Foreigners take American jobs, and unemployed American fathers turn to drink to drown their sorrows. We need to change all that. We need an organization that respects what we respect. We need to unite, not just here in Indianapolis, but all across the state, from state to state. We need to unite. Unite with us now, all across the nation. Join the Ku Klux Klan! Join with us! Join the Ku Klux Klan! Join the Ku Klux
Clow! Hey, Clow! They approved it, Clow. They're going to put it on the budget agenda before the next session of the legislature.
Madge, that's great.
Oh, I owe you one.
Oh, no, don't be silly. No, you don't owe me.
Listen, this bigwig's having a party on Tuesday night. It's going to be quite a wing-ding. He's invited half the city hall. Would you like to go?
Madge,
There'll be a lot of people there from the legislature, and I can talk to them about my book program.
I think I'm supposed to ask you.
I come on a little strong sometimes. Sorry.
Oh, I'd love to go. What time should I pick you up?
7:30 sharp. Bye.
Look at this palace. Guy must have a money machine.
Play your cards right, maybe you can wheedle out a campaign contribution.
Excuse me, but I'm going to have to ask you to put that away, please.
Do you know who my husband is?
Yes, ma'am. State Senator Monroe. But Steve is very strong in his adherence to the law against alcohol. Why don't I store that in the cloakroom for you, Senator?
What do you figure it costs to throw a party like this?
A small fortune. Excuse me.
Excuse me. May I see your invitation?
I'm Grady Sims from the Times.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Sims. This is a private party, and the press was not invited. Can I see you to the front door?
Steve, we're so thankful for the donation that you approved for the Baptist Hospital. It will mean the world in new facilities.
Always glad to help a worthy cause. The Klan has a Christian heart.
Do you mean that?
I mean everything I say.
Ed Jackson. I'm running for governor. I've heard you speak a couple of times and read the columns you've written for the Fiery Cross. We have a great deal in common.
What do we have in common, sir?
We're embarrassed that our last governor was a crook. We believe in Christianity, a strong America, and morality. We believe in the prohibition.
Sounds like a speech I made last Tuesday.
Oh, I've never heard anyone speak the way you do, Mr. Stevens.
I think it's time that you and I sat down and talked for a bit.
You're right, Ed. We do have a great deal in common. Let me see what I can come up with for you. Excuse me.
I'd be happy to send you a copy of the proposal, Senator.
There you go, Madge.
Thanks.
Thought you might like something to eat, too.
Thanks. Have you met the senator and his wife, Harriet?
No, I'm pleased to meet you.
John, you've managed to entrance the most beautiful women at the party. Hi, Harriet. We haven't met. My name is David Stevenson.
Madge Oberholzer.
Clell Henry.
How do you do? Welcome to my home.
Thank you.
You work in the Department of Education, don't you?
How do you know that?
You hear things. Come together?
We did.
You're a lucky man, Clell. We'll talk again. Soon.
Goodbye. This is fun, Clell. I'm glad we came. been getting my lunch. What is going on?
How can you eat at a time like this?
Martha, slow down. What is going on? Oh, who sent these?
I don't know, but they arrived while you were out stuffing yourself.
Oh, there must be a car.
I looked.
Oh, Martha, come on.
Kid,
There
I don't know
must
what
be.
you've been doing, but you sure had an effect on somebody.
Madge Oberholzer?
Hello, Madge.
Who is this?
You don't remember my voice?
No.
Steve. You come to my house, you socialize at my party, and now you can't remember my name? I'm crushed.
Did you do this? You sent the roses?
Don't you like them?
No, well, there's just so many.
May I see you on Thursday night?
I don't even know you.
You'll get to know me then. You sure you like roses?
Yes, but no, I mean for Thursday.
Good, great. Then we're on. I'll pick you up Thursday at 7.
No, yes, I was talking about the roses.
I thought you didn't like roses.
Yes, I do. All right, yes, for Thursday.
I wasn't sure you liked roses. That's why I sent the daisies.
What daisies?
I didn't realize you were such a basketball fan.
Hey, this is Indiana. It's illegal not to be a basketball fan.
Yeah, our cultural heritage, huh?
In a way, yes. Boy, when I was a kid, I could only dream about a tournament like this. Uniforms, referees, wood floors. My goodness. We used to play on dirt with bare feet and settle our differences with a fist fight.
Were you any good?
I was a pretty good ball player and a terrible fighter.
Well, this doesn't seem like a Ku Klux Klan kind of thing.
Well, we don't bring out the tar brushes and the nooses until after the half, Madge. You want some popcorn?
I didn't mean that.
Well, that's all right. There's a lot of people still think of the Klan as a bunch of rednecks.
And that's not true?
The old leadership is gone, Madge. It's a new age. And Americans need help. They need help to stand up to the money men and the bootleggers. It's like your book program. You believe in your book program, don't you? You believe it helps people?
Yes.
Well, the Klan is my book program. Not the old Klan, the new Klan, my Klan. I'm sorry you're sending you all those flowers created a problem. I sent them and I was thinking afterwards maybe your boss got angry.
You're sweet.
I'm smitten. You're the most beautiful, most intelligent woman I've ever met in my life.
You're making me blush.
I'm proud to introduce to you a man who made this evening possible. A man who makes me proud to stand up and say, I'm American. Mr. David Stevenson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. I do. I just wanted to step out here before we start tonight's game and ask you folks a question. Don't you think that this is the most beautiful lady you've ever seen?
Do you have an appointment to see Mr. Stevenson?
Tell him it's Hiram Evans.
And what is the nature of your visit, Mr. Evans?
We're from Atlanta. Young lady, Mr. Evans here is the Imperial Wizard of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Imperial Wizard?
The boss of all the Klan throughout the entire United States.
Pam, would you please send these documents?
Oh, Mr. Gentry, these men are...
Mr. Hiram Evans. Sir, please come right in. Gentlemen, step this way, please. Gentlemen, you come right in.
You've been King Kleagle of the Indiana Clavering for, what is it, 9 months?
Yes, sir.
9 months, son. Yet you've managed to quintuple your membership. No other Clavering in America comes even close to that.
Well, I was always a believer in hard work, sir.
It's not hard work, it's you. Something about you. We want you to be membership director for the entire Midwest. That's 22 states, and you control all of it.
No organized Claverings in each state. Now, you pick your own men to serve as Kleagles, and you tell them who to appoint as Titans and Furies.
We can make the Ku Klux Klan the most powerful political force in America.
These are chaotic times, son. There's lawlessness and loose morals. Right here in Indiana, your own governor's being indicted for mail fraud. No better than Al Capone. Good people want something better than that. They need an organization. That's the Ku Klux Klan. And that's you, Steve.
We got to do something before the coloreds, Catholics, and Jews start taking over.
Hell, the Jews already run Wall Street. The coloreds are taking our jobs. Next thing you know, the Catholics will be putting a pope in the White House.
Now, we give you these 22 states. Can you get the same results you got here in Indiana?
Well, yes, sir. I believe I can.
Who's out here? Somebody around the side? I got a shotgun in here. Read it, Johnny.
God bless you. The Ku Klux Klan cares.
Boy, what a coincidence. I guess the movie people just happened to be passing by.
Oh, don't be such a cynic, George. You know, Pearl said they've started a milk program down in Bloomington.
And what we need is for the book distribution sites to be centrally located within the local farm area.
Yeah, and any of these places I'm writing down would be good for you, but the local council has to approve anything like this, and I'm just not sure
Steve.
Thought I saw a familiar face. How you doing?
Oh, you know, working on the book program, fighting the good fight.
As usual. How are you today, Mr. Mayor? Steve, gosh darn, it's good to see you. I didn't know you knew my favorite person in all Indiana. You should have said so. We're doing a little business here.
Hope you're taking good care of her.
Oh, you bet we will. Now, you see any of the folks on this list, you tell them I sent you, and you tell them to give me a call.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You take care, my friend.
Nice to see you, sir.
David Stevenson, how do you do?
Not as well as Madge, apparently. Barbara Evers.
What are you doing here?
Well, actually, I came to see you.
And if you ladies aren't busy, I have plenty for three.
A picnic?
We'd love to.
Well, we were going to look at school sites.
We'll all look together.
I hope you don't mind me coming up here spur of the moment and all.
Well, not as long as you have something cool to drink in there.
Even better. Fresh from my own tree, picked them myself, guaranteed to quench your thirst and satisfy your sweet tooth. Ladies.
Thank you. In another mile, there should be a covered bridge. The mayor said there's a barn just beyond that that would be great for temporary school.
She doesn't always talk about business. Sometimes she actually makes conversation.
I thought we could picnic there.
You drove all the way out here just to have a picnic? Stop.
I'd have walked if I'd had to. No telling how far I'd walk for a proper date.
Look what they've done.
I guess your clan still has room for some bigots.
The maniacs who did this weren't Klansmen. They were night riders. People pretend to be Klansmen. They pretend to be Klansmen for their own purposes. I'm sorry. Let's go find your barn. Build you some classrooms. Hey, John, come on inside. Come on. I get you boys anything to eat or something?
Not a thing, Steve, thanks. No, thank you. Steve, the house is gorgeous, just beautiful.
You didn't call a Sunday morning meeting and tell me that, John. Come on, Ed, sit down, John. Can I get you some coffee or something?
What John wants is for you to support him as mayoral candidate here in Indianapolis.
Now, why do you want my support?
Well, you're a man of influence. Bright, perceptive, socially active.
Got a lot of money, and I can turn out the Klan vote.
You got rid of that Jew in the House. You got Sam Ralston elected to the Senate. And I've seen what you've done for Ed. I want some of that.
God shall we find salvation. Only through Christ shall we reach the kingdom of heaven.
You know how many people are hearing this right now? People sit in their houses and listen to this thing. You get on the air, you can get right into a man's home. Put an ad in the paper, he'll take you to work with him in the morning. It's a brand new age, gentlemen.
We need your support to keep faith alive. Now, more than
Steve.
ever, we need...
I'll give you my support, John. And what will you give me?
A mayor you can be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want?
Write this down and sign it. In return for the political support of D.C. Stevenson, and in the event that I'm elected mayor of Indianapolis, Indiana, I promise not to appoint any person member of the Board of Public Works without their first having the endorsement of D.C. Stevenson. I also promise and agree...
That's insane. What if the letter were discovered?
This will be the only copy of the letter that exists, and I'll have it. I trust you, and I trust Ed. Do you trust me? We can go a lot further than mayors. We can do a lot more good than you can on your own, John. Ask Ed.
All right. Can you give it to me again?
Sure. In return for the political endorsement of D.C. Stevenson, and in the event that I am elected mayor of Indianapolis, Indiana, I promise not to appoint. Am I going too fast?
No, that's fine.
Over 50 letters to the editor, and all from local Klansmen.
2 years ago, there weren't 500 members of the Klan all over the country. Now there are almost 200,000 right here in Indiana alone. And we risk alienating those readers if you continue to attack the Klan.
I'm trying to inform the readership, Mr. LaBouffe, not pander to it.
Klan has become a major advertiser in almost every significant daily in the state. We're losing substantial revenue by not running their copy.
And we will continue to lose that revenue as long as I'm editor-in-chief of the Times.
Look at this. Klan writes these things called Klan comments. Look, they spell comments with a K, so it's cute.
Let me hear it.
What is the Klan? The Klan is organized patriotism, intensified Americanism, and unified Protestantism. The mission of the Klan is to serve and to save America. I mean, these are easy answers if you're out of work and immigrants have all the jobs.
Nationally, the Klan's run by a man named Hiram Evans, a dentist originally from Texas. Locally, it's all David Stevenson.
I've seen Stevenson work. He's very good.
What, he uses preachers to warm up the crowds.
Don't smirk. Pulpit politicians got prohibition ratified. You take religious fundamentalism and mix it with politics, and you get a formidable force.
We have information that suggests Stevenson is backing candidates for almost every elective office, municipal, county, and state. Hell, they're sending a whole delegation to the Democratic National Convention.
The guy's 33 years old. He's spending a fortune. Where's he get it?
Oh, he tells people he's in the coal business. But I ran a tax check. This coal business earns no money.
Doesn't have to. People are paying $10 a head to join the Klan. Another $10 for robes and hoods. It's a money machine.
Dig into it. I want to stay on top of this, huh?
Are you going to put my paper in the hot seat again, Boyd?
I certainly hope so. Marge, give me the Hall of Records.
I thought you wanted to talk.
Something like that.
I sense you like the big gesture. Those speeches, the party, the flowers.
Yes, I do. I'm a man who visualizes things. Picture a better world to live in. Peace, justice. Woman like you waiting when I come home.
My mother warned me about men like you.
Your mother never knew a man like me.
You're right.
I'm always right. Ready to dance?
I might be able to muster a few steps.
When I'm out here with you like this, I feel wonderful.
You're making me cheesy.
Precisely my intention.
It's after midnight. I really should get home.
Say you'll see me again.
Maybe.
So, when are you going to marry this guy?
Marry him? I've only known him for 3 weeks.
Come on. Are you telling me you haven't thought about it?
Well, should I? I mean, I don't know. It's all happening so fast. I don't know what his intentions are.
face it, Madge. He's your dream man. He's smart, sincere, rich.
Gorgeous. Oh, you've been reading too many dime store romances.
You haven't read a dime store romance in your life.
You know, maybe I should have. Then I'd know what to do. What's that?
Smoke. Oh, my Lord. I know those people. Pull in. Oil. Allie. You children all right? Thank the Lord.
Should not have be out here, Miss Barbara. Wish y'all go away before you seen me.
What happened?
Royal went in to register for the voting. Some man come by last week, said colored folks better stay away from the election man. He said it wasn't none of our affair.
It was enough of my affair to peel potatoes in the army for 3 years. I got the vote. God in heaven, I'm gonna use it.
Who did this?